So today we're going to create Easter eggs. We're going to collage them with patterned paper and actually vintage tissue paper from Dressmaker's Patterns. And then we're going to stamp an image, and then we're going to collage that on to the egg, and then we're going to finish it up with a little bit of Twinkling H2Os. So first, I have an egg that I've already started, and what I use as an adhesive here is a little bit of gel matte medium by Liquitex, and that's this right here. And a lot of collage artists use this because it's so easy to make it go down nice and smooth. There's no lumps and bumps and bubbles if you really use a paintbrush to apply it to the egg. So we're going to go ahead and apply it to the back of this egg. And then I'm going to get a piece of the tissue paper that I already tore. I'm going to go ahead and lay this down, get a little bit more of the gel. Go ahead and just use my paintbrush to smooth it on down. And keep going. You'll notice that perhaps your fingers get a little bit sticky, and I'll show you what I do. Typically, my little trick for me is to get my fingers a little bit wet, and that way the glue doesn't stick to them, because I am, in essence, more slippery than the glue. I also like working on a Teflon mat. This particular one is from Basil, and it just makes it so that the egg doesn't stick to anything if you want to set it down like I am. I need to tear a smaller piece of paper, the tissue. I'm going to go ahead and apply just a little bit more of the gel medium. Go ahead again and just go ahead and like smooth this down with my paintbrush. Once again, the paintbrush keeps all of the tissue smooth, it gets the bubbles out, it flattens it down. You don't have to use your fingers. You can see that's nice and smooth. I can actually fix my finger on the last one. We have one last little spot right at the top of the egg. Probably don't need such a big piece of the tissue, so I'll tear this off a bit. And go ahead and just put this right over the top. And again, last little bit of gel medium. Smooth it all down. And we'll go ahead and set this side to dry. It'll probably take, after you put all of your pieces and parts on, it'll probably take about 10-15 minutes for it to dry. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, I already have cut out a couple of stamped images. I used my little itty bitty stamp here by Unity. Can you see that right there? There we go. And today we're going to do the bird one. Actually, I think we're going to do the love one because I already have had two bird ones done. So we're going to do the love stamp. And looks to me like I need a little bit more of my medium. So I'm going to go put it up, scoop a little bit out, figure out where I want to put it on my egg. I think I'm going to find the cleanest part that has the least amount of any black for any printing. With this stamped image will show up really well. I'm going to really give it a nice even coat. And I'm going to go ahead and center this right where I want it. Kind of once it goes down, it's down. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it into that even coat that I put down. Keep going all the way around. There we go. A little bit more. And if you have a little bit of excess, you can just take your small scissors, go ahead and trim it off. And again, just a tad bit more of the gel medium, and we'll smooth it down. And here you go. And all of the gel medium will dry perfectly clear, so you won't see it anymore, which is perfect. Makes it good. You're not going to see any of this milky texture that you see on it right now. That will be completely gone, so all that milky texture will disappear. Go ahead and set this down and show you one that I've already done, which is this bird one right here. And what we're going to do now is go ahead and use a little bit of the Luminart to color in the flowers and color in the leaves and such. So I've already gotten my Luminart wet, and my Twinkling H2Os are what I'm going to use today, and they are made by Luminart. You're going to go ahead and you're going to spritz them. You want them to get nice and wet, but I already spritzed them, so I'm not going to do it again. And then get your brush, kind of dry it out a little bit because we don't want it to run down too much on the egg. We're just really tinting those little flowers. So I'm not sure if you can see where they are, but I'm not really worrying too much about it. I'm going to basically just go in a little circular motions and just tint those sweet little flowers that we put on here. This was a stamp that I had designed at CHA, especially for the retailers, as a thank you stamp. So on the real stamp, you'll notice there's the word thank you, but on this, I just cut it off. I didn't even use it. And a little bit more. Let that soak for a second, just so it soaks into the gel medium. Because there's gel medium on it, it'll take a few more minutes to actually soak in. And then we're going to go ahead and do the leaves, and we're going to use my favorite olivine again, as usual. I do own other greens, but my favorite is olivine, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm just going around, just putting dots in where the leaves are. And then I'm going to go ahead, so that I can do the other side, I'm just going to dab a little bit of it off. I'm going to switch the paper towel around as I dab so that I don't smear. There we go, it's coming around. And now I'm going to turn it and do the other side, making sure we get as much water out of the brush again. And dip it back into the olivine. Do a little bit right here, just on these last little leaves. I'm going to decorate the final touches of it with some stickles by Ranger. They have this great one that is just basically iridescent glitter, and that's such a great accent for Easter. So I'll go ahead and dab it off again, just like we did earlier. Turning my paper towel so I don't accidentally get green polka dots everywhere. And then we'll set this one aside to dry. We'll put this right up here. And then here's one of my finished ones. And I did one of the love ones that was just like what we did earlier when we collaged it. I'll put some photos at the end of the video to kind of give you an idea. And there you go. It's pretty quick. It's pretty easy. Pretty simple way to make some very, very unique Easter eggs. I'll see you soon.